So today we will go study for the drug for the autonomic nervous system. So the previous class we have studied about the side effects of the local anesthesia. The content in this topic is purely for the education purpose only. The content is taken from the book of pharmacology by K.D. Tripathi, 7th edition, J. Publishers, Darya New Delhi, India. Objectives of the study: it is about the introduction of autonomic nervous system, central nervous system, central autonomic nervous system, autonomic effects, energetic nervous system, differentiates between the sympathetic and parasympathetic autonomic system. So, introduction part: the autonomic nervous system, the ANS, that is the function largely below the level of the consciousness and control visceral functions. The major difference between the somatic and autonomic nervous systems, like the somatic nervous system, the autonomic nervous system consists of the afferent and central and the efferents. So, autonomic nerves, afferents, most visceral nerves are mixed nerve and carry non-magnetic visceral afferent fibers as well as the sense body of this. The afferent fibers are located in the dorsal root ganglion of the spinal nerves, and in the sensory ganglion, that is example the nodes ganglion of the vagus of the central nervous, the mediate visceral pain as well as the cardiovascular, respiratory, and other visceral reflexes. Central autonomic connections. There are no exclusively autonomic areas in the CNS. Considerable intermixing and integration of the somatic and autonomic innervations occurs. The highest seats regulate autonomic ganglion, as in the hypothalamus. Posterior and lateral nuclei are the primarily sympathetic, while anterior and the medial nuclei are the primarily parasympathetic. Many autonomic centers are pupillary, vagal, respiratory C are located in the midbrain of the medulla in relation to the cranial nerves. The lateral column of the thoracic spinal canal contains cells which give rise to the sympathetic overflow. So autonomic afferents, the motor limb of the ANS is autonomically divided into the sympathetic and parasympathetic. Many organs receive both sympathetic and parasympathetic innervation, and the two subdivisions are functionally antagonistic in measure of this. The level of the activity of the innervated organs at the given moment is an algebraic sum of the sympathetic and parasympathetic tone. However, the refractory periods of the arterial fibers is decreased by the sympathetic as well as parasympathetic influence. Most blood vessels, spleen, sweat glands, and hair follicle receives only sympathetic, while ciliary muscles, bronchial muscles, gastric and pancreatic glands receives only parasympathetic innervations. Thus, the two divisions of the ANS do not merely check and balance the physiological antagonism of each other. So, enteric nervous system, the enteric plexus of the nerve receive inputs from both the sympathetic and parasympathetic division of the ANS, but in addition, they function independently to the integral bowel movements as well as the regular secretions and the absorption. As such, it has been labeled as the distinct enteric nervous system. The general layers of the ANS is depicted in the figure, and in the important difference between two subdivisions. The difference between sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves difference these are the organs: the dorsal lumbar spine, that is T1 to L2 L3, and parasympathetic the cranial sacral, the third, eighth, ninth, 10th, sacrum 2, second, and sacrum 4. And distribution is wide and is limited to the head, neck, and the trunk parasympathetic nerves. So ganglion away from the organ supply, or the parasympathetic, that is on the close to the organ supply. Post post ganglion fiber, that is long, and this is parasympathetic is short. That is pre post ganglionic, that is 1 is to 2 and 100, and 1 is to 100, and 1 is to, and parasympathetic is 1 is to 1 is to 1 to 1 is to 2, the except on the enteric plexus. So the neuroeffectors are, that is a measure, that is this is in sympathetic, the measure is not applicable, and the measure that is acetylcholine A transmitters, that is the minor ATP, NPY, DA, ACH, and in the case of parasympathetic, this is a minor, that is a VIP, and no. So stabilization of the transmitter is non-stable, and non-stable diffuse of the water water actions, so wide actions, so ACH, that is a rapid destroyed locally. So important function of this sympathetic, that is tackling stress in emergency. And and in the case of parasympathetic, it is the assimilation of the food and conservation of energy. The short form is Na, it is non-adrenaline, and ACH is acetylcholine, ATP is called adenosine triphosphate, and PY, that's the peptides, and DA is dopamine, and VIP is vasoactive intestinal peptides, NO is nitric oxides. So, somatic and autonomic systems. This in the CNS, that is the motor neuron, the somatic, that is the ACH, that is the skeletal muscles, and the parasympathetic, that is the ACH in the heart, and it's supplied in the heart, blood vessels, and the viscera, eyes, and the glands. So, these are the autonomic nervous systems. So the neurohormonal transmissions implies that the nerve transmit their message across the sympathetic and neuroeffects junctions by the release of the humoral chemical messengers. Junctional transmission was thought to be electrical, that is, does not occur in some lower animals and probably in certain areas of mammalians brain. But observation at the turn of the last century prompted Elton in 1905 to suggest that the sympathetic nerve functioned by the release of the adrenaline-like substance, that is called Dixon, in 1907. It to propose that the vagus release of the screen-like chemicals. Thus, a chemical must have been released by the vagal stimulation in the first heart, which passes in the perfusate and arrest the second part. The vagus stop was found to be 1926 to be acetylcholine, which earlier Dell in 1914 has characterized as a parasympathetic. The sympathetic transmitters was eventually shown to be non-adrenaline in 1946 by the von Euler. Many humoral transmissions, that is dopamine, 5-HT, GABA, and glutamic acids, purine, peptide, etc., are not known. So the sympathetic transmitters was eventually shown in the non-adrenaline in the 1956 by the Bonner. Many human transmitters, dopamine, 5-HT, GABA, glutamic acids, purine, peptides, etc., are not known. To be considered to as the post-junctionally acting humoral transmitters, a substance must fulfill the following criteria. It should be present in the presympathetic neurons, usually along the enzyme synthesizes. It should be second point. It is should be released as a medium following the nerve stimulation. Third point, it is application should produce response identical to those produced by the nerve stimulation. And fourth, that its effects should be antagonized or potentiated by other substance which similarly alter effects of the nerve stimulation. So steps in the neurotransmission: the nerve conduction, impulse conduction, transmitter release, transmitter actions in the postjunctional membrane, postjunctional activities fifth, and this is the fifth is termination of the transmitter action. So impulse conduction. First point, the resting transmitter potential, that is 70 millivolt negative inside, is established by the high potassium permeability of axonal membrane and the high exoplasmic concentration of these ions coupled with the low sodium permeability and its active exclusion from the neurons. Stimulation on arrival of the electrical impulse causes a sudden increase of the sodium ions conductance, and that is when the polarization of the offshoots reverse the polarization inside the becoming 20 millivolt positive. So again, potassium ions then move out of the in the direction of their concentration gradient, and polarization is achieved. The ionic distribution is normalized during the refractive period by the activation of the sodium and potassium ion pump. The action potential of the AP thus generated set of the local circuit currents which activate ionic channels in the next excitability part of the membrane. So what is transverse transmitter release? Transmitters to the excitatory or inhibitory is stored in the prejunctional nerve ending with synaptic vesicles. The nerve impulse promotes fusion of the vascular and axonal membrane through calcium ions entry, which fluidize membrane. All the content of the vesicles, as transmitter enzymes and other protein, are excluded. Excitosis and the junctional cleft. The release process can be modulated by the transmitters itself, and by other agents. Now, activation of the specific receptors located in the prejunctional membrane, that is example, noradrenaline release is inhibited by the that is alpha 2 receptors, dopamine, adenosine, prostaglandin, and enkephalins, while isopreline, that is the and beta 2 receptors are the angiostensin, that is the ATA receptors, increase NA release, and similarly, alpha 2 and screen agonist inhibits acetylcholine ACH released at autonomic neuroeffector sites but not in the ganglia and the skeletal muscles. So transmitter actions in the post-junctional membrane, the release transmitter membrane with specific receptors on the post-junctional membrane, and depending on the nature induced and excitatory post-synaptic potential, that is EPS, or inhibitory post-synaptic potential, that is IPSP. EPSP increase permeability of the cation, that is sodium or calcium ion efflux through fast or slow channels cause depolarization followed by potassium channel efflux. These ionic movements are passive as the flow is down the concentration gradient. So IPSP increase the permeability of the ion so that the Cl ions in move with the axonal clearance, that is concentration is lower than extracellular concentration and tends to hyperpolarize the membrane, that is an IPSP is generated. Stabilization of the membrane or the hyperpolarization can also result from selective increase in permeability of the potassium ions, thus which moves out carrying positive ion charges. In addition, the trophic influence on the junctional morphology and functional status is exerted by background basal release of the transmitters. So, post-junctional activities, a suprathreshold of ESPS generated and propagated post-junctional AP, which results in the nerve impulse in the neurons, contraction in muscles, or secretion in the gland, and an IPSP stabilize the post-junctional membrane and necessitate stimuli. And fifth one is termination of the transmitter junction. The various mechanisms of the transmission of the transmitter action is depicted following its combination with the receptors. The transmitter is either locally degraded, example is terminal A, or is partially taken back into the prejunctional neurons by the active reuptake and the partially diffused away. Example, so NA specific carrier protein like the norepinephrine transporters, that is NET, dopamine transporters, DAT, or serotonin transporters, and ACRT are expressed on the axonal membrane. For this purpose, the rate of the termination of the transmitter actions govern the rate at which the response can be transmitted across a junction, that is 1 to 1000 per second. Amino acids transmitters, that is glutamate and GABA, are also partly take up by active transport into neural and neighboring glial cells, but no active reuptake of the peptide neurotransmitters, the VIP and PY enkephalins etc. occurs. They diffuse away and broken down by the peptidase at a distant site. So, contramission, what is contramission? It is now become apparent that the classical one neurons, one transmitters model is an simplification. Most peripheral and the central neurons on the stimulation have been shown to release more than one active substance. In the ANS, besides the primary transmitter, the acetylcholine A and NA, neuron have found to elaborate purines at ATP, adenosine peptides, vasoactive intestinal peptides, or VIP